Hello, Divine Feminine. How are you? It is a bit dark today. I'll give it one more up there. Hope you're doing well. Things have been a little rough. Okay, let's get some animal signifiers and we'll see. I'm going to do a message-heavy reading today. What do they want to say to you right now? I've been getting a lot of like contact cards. Spider, make your dreams real. Bring a gentle touch, dear. Watch your words, communication. So we have 1199. Interesting. Bottom of the deck, trust in the magic. The White Raven. So, Page of Swords, Five of Swords. Masculine's having a lot of conflict about how to communicate with you, what to say. I was wondering if he did enough work on himself. How to let go of the mistakes he made in the past. It feels like he made a lot of errors. Okay, here we go. Queen of Swords on the bottom. Ace of Pentacles. Three of Swords. Knight of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Two of Cups. Seven of Swords. Devil. Empress reverse. 10 of Wands. 8 of Wands. Queen of Wands. Knight of Wands. Queen of Swords. 8 of Cups. Wow, what a big reading. I don't know, I feel like you're just like, he's never going to change. He's never coming back. What does the masculine want to say? I don't know. You can't ignore Seven of Swords next to the Devil. Can I have one more card on that, please? Because that is not a great energy. Ace of Swords. So that kind of tells me that he either may like say something to you to get you purposefully upset or off, you know, on guard, or gossip about you, talk to someone else around you. Wow, 2 kings again. Same 2 kings as yesterday. Magician in the mirror. There's another off-balance energy here. I don't know. You better figure out really quick where your center is so you don't get pushed off balance. As I see a lot of energy flying around here. Yet neither of you are really saying what you're truly feeling. I feel like you're very guarded and you're expecting some kind of apology from him. He seems to be saying the truth, but I don't understand why the Seven of Swords is there like that. It may be oh wow. He's talking about, he's not giving you the truthful account of what happened in the past regarding a past relationship. So I think there's a lot of scenarios here, and I don't like going into scenarios. But I see there was deception, a lot of it in the past, a lot of heartbreak. And he desires to turn the page. he feels like he wants to tell you he's been working on himself. Emotionally and financially is what's coming through here. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that he really didn't feel very worthy of you. For some of you, you may have really wanted like a stable relationship, and you may have said that. And that may have been too much for him at that point. I see going forward, you guys are communicating about your relationship. He wants to talk to you in a really gentle manner here. He actually is coming with very healing energy. You know, Queen and Knight of Wands in reverse. It's, to me, what's coming through is you guys are having a hard time seeing why, or being vulnerable about why you want to create, right? Like, it's somewhat, it's kind of like this dark energy from, oh my gosh, dark energy from the past kind of just overshadows everything. You know, I see this kind of tattoo on his heart. Like, there's all sorts of weird energy things are showing me, but like, you know, if you want to make a pancake in a shape and you can put like a cookie cutter down and pour it in, it's like the way his heart was molded as a child may never be fully healed. And it does appear to me that there has been work done here. But it may never be fully whole. And I get the feeling he's accepted it, but that's not a great word for it. It's like, I get the feeling that he's using his trauma kind of as an excuse not to try all the way. And when we've learned to be very manipulative and our ego kind of has protected us, you know, through that mechanism, to fully like undo it is a huge ego death. I know I've talked a lot about the Hermit energy over the past few weeks. These cards right here are not really telling me there's been a ton of healing having happened. I think there has been some, I think he's learning how to be more gentle with himself. And through this, since I put the first 2 layers of cards down, I feel like you are what's drawing him forward. But I don't know that he could ever tell you that. And I'm not that sure from these cards that you're fully embodying this Empress energy here, right? So, part of the hesitation I feel in these cards is that neither of you is really accepting the kind of grandiosity of this twin flame relationship. And I, as a person, have feelings about this, but I'm going to try to keep it on what Spirit wants to bring through here. It's like, it's okay when it suits me, but I'm not going to really embody it fully. No, no one says you have to. Except you, right? Except your heart. Your heart is what we're talking about here. We're talking about healing and integrating all of the lessons and wounds into your heart. So one of the things that always is always there, I always talk about it. It's so important. That is like the dark and the light has to be integrated, right? We all do things wrong, and it's a very important part of being human. And I think sometimes we're in so much pain, and we think, well, this has to be evident to people around us. They have to see the level of pain and hurt and trauma I am in, and yet they don't. And we think we have all of these people that we pay that are in the government that say they're here to help us when we're in real trouble. And yet nobody really feels like they're helping us, right? We don't, instead of when something goes really wrong, they're just like, no, we're not going to help you. We're actually going to make it worse. You know, as communities, most of us don't come together like that anymore because of the dark side of the communities, right? So there are dark aspects that you will have to integrate. These wounds, your mistakes, coping mechanisms, and how they affected other people. Now, you're not responsible for them, but I have to say that there is an energy here that you can't just gloss over things that happened, or they'll keep happening. You have to integrate the lesson. I mean, the twin flame journey is mostly integrating lessons and shadows to figure out at the end of it, you're still lovable, right? It's not just when you're all love and light and halos and amazing that you're lovable. You're lovable at your darkest, at the worst, you know. Even if you feel, and this is where it gets so caught up, I know I'm not doing a channeled message, but if you hold this belief that what he did is unforgivable, he will believe that he's unlovable, right? You have to look in the mirror at it. I am thinking of you. I want to be like you. I'm seeking revenge. I wish you wouldn't push me away. I actually think that I'm seeking revenge is you. I secretly admire you. I've been up all night thinking about you. I'm lost without you. I think you're out of my league. I am who I am. Scared of commitment. You are the reason I keep going. I told you. That's what I felt from the very beginning. You're the reason I keep going. Now, do we want to be the reason he keeps going? No, we want him to be the reason he keeps going. Is the reason you keep going something outside of yourself, or is it for you? Right? You have to ask that to integrate that lesson. Man, there's some heavy energy around this. I mean, besides the Nine of Swords, which came out yesterday, this is pretty much the heaviest energy right here. Healing, sharing, isolation, past lives, awareness, existence, slowing down, the master. There are pearls of wisdom on offer right now. And so there was this card. This was what this card was saying to me, right? With all the chakras and the pearl. And then they pointed this out too. There are pearls here in the web. You got to slow down and kind of defrost. I don't know why they're using that word exactly. I mean, it's from this isolation card, but it's like you've got to defrost. What is this about, Spirit? So there's frozen parts of your heart here. Parts of your heart and his heart are frozen. And there are tears in that frozen heart. And part of what happens, the flame of the twin flames, right, comes together and it makes this third huge entity, much, much bigger than the two of you. And it's why the intensity goes up so high when you're together. It's this energy, you know, you amplify each other's energy. And to be very clear and precise, it's the same wavelength, so it amplifies itself. And that heat, like, begins to defrost the heart. Tears. Crazy analogy. I love it because it's so amazing, but that's why that triggering happens so strongly. Scared of what their family will say. Cancer, more family energy. Platinum, you changed me. Law of gestation, 7 laws of prosperity. Silence is easier. So crazy, isn't it? This is so crazy. Saturn, you're gonna learn your lessons. I know I treated you badly. I'm too proud to say sorry. Okay, And then it has two joining together, which is what I just talked about. But this is of the mind. We're saying a couple more. How could you want me? Violet flame. Yes, violet flame coming through. No good thing shall be denied. Moon energy, deeper into shadow. There is alchemy to be had here. And it's really that overcoming pride and learning the lessons about it's true. Some things could have been done better. You could have cared more. There could have been more honesty, more bravery. You could have, whatever it is, some lesson here is teaching you a very important thing. You want to kind of sweep it under the rug. You want it to go away. You want to gloss over the lesson that's being presented here. But no, you cannot. Sorry, I gotta transmute some of this energy. It's just really strong. There's a really dense, like, ball of fear energy frozen in the heart that, you know, we say we're one thing. Fairies keep coming out for someone. It's interesting. And this ball of fear energy is very, very strong. I think its root is held in terms of the mother energy, which the salmon card came out. And, you know, there's this kind of narrative. Look at that. What I was talking about with community, right? Why? It's that book with the wings. Like, mothers are really supposed to do all of the emotional stuff in the family, once again. Right? There's a lot of talk about, you know, fathers not doing the emotional part. Does that mean all fathers don't? No, of course not. Some fathers are very emotionally present, very emotionally available, very, you know, vulnerable and loving and caring. So whenever I talk about parents, I always say the parents were doing the best that they could, and this isn't a blame show for parents. So right now, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. Right now, we have to make the equation make sense. We've got to do the math in terms of, yeah, you may have been abandoned, orphaned. You may have been abused. You may have been neglected. Some of us shoved all of that into, I mean, if this isn't a card regarding the shadow, like, look at it, right? We show all of our beautiful pink feathers here, but behind us is this dark cloud, this black and white sadness, okay? And that's the frozen tears, the triggering that happens when you two come together. It's like, you can only run so far. It will always be there with you. And I think you have faced a lot of it, but there's this really dense, like, center of you asking, like, why wasn't I more important than fill in the blank with whatever the parent chose over you, right? your friends, socializing, drinking, making money, having affairs. You know, these are all things from my own personal parents. Playing tennis, going out to dinners every single night, or there's just so many things that were always chosen over me. And it was all in the name of, well, this is what it takes to be successful, right? This is what it takes to live this life. This is what it requires of me. So in our hearts, we all know the truth. The truth doesn't require an explanation. We know the truth. We know the truth now. And there's just a place for you to see where you're making excuses for yourself about mirroring that kind of behavior, whatever it was for you. You have to go straight into the heart of that dense pain. You know, it's like a mass basically in your heart, and it's crying like desperately. And it's interesting that this is a ball of flame right here. That is the Yang card, the one, the Magician, because I was just going to talk about how we have all the elements here in this spread, and they're really saying you have all you need to deal with this pain now. You have it all. You've had this journey. You have the gifts. You have the community support, although you may be convincing yourself that you don't. And here's the thing. It's like, however, this is a really harsh, I was not going for this today. However, you're being like a pick-me person, whatever that is, whatever it is that you're like, do you see I'm special, right? We had to learn these things. We had to learn what our parents liked and how that made us special. Some of us are funny or pretty or really intelligent or whatever it is, your talent. You've got to go away from that now, and you've got to just be you. Yes, that's a part of you, right? That's not why you're lovable. You're lovable because you're you. And this is actually very toxic for you to keep hiding that shadow part of you and to keep putting forth the pink feather part of you. The look at me, I do everything right? So do not get it twisted. This is not saying do things wrong. This is not telling you what to do. This is pointing out that there's a split in the heart here. There's a split in the heart, and you may have convinced yourself that it's irreparable, but it's not. It's very repairable. It's very integratable. Your masculine is actually showing you this right now. And you have to do it with the softness, right? You have to treat your inner child and your feelings with softness and peace and gentleness, and probably what they didn't get a lot of the time as a kid, or especially a teenager, because we allow small children to be dreamy and not face like reality, quote unquote. But teenagers, we begin to start this process of like, you've got to face reality, you know, and we start to be really harsh most of the time. And life can just be very harsh, all the way from like middle school and high school. It's very harsh when you're trying to figure out who you actually are, especially if you had a very difficult young childhood, because the thing with young childhood is that it's an isolation, right? Most of the time you're at home or with a caregiver and you're not having exposure to a lot of other kids. Now, yes, in daycare, but then it even gets sometimes really much worse, because for a lot of different reasons. Anyway, so there are pearls of wisdom here for you to extract from these frozen tears. It's like if you unfreeze the tears, they're going to turn into pearls. If you can hold the vibration of being love, of acceptance, of surrender. Surrender just means actually accepting what is and not trying to change it into something that makes it feel better for you, right? Manipulate it. Which is what we do. Something bad happens and we make a bunch of excuses. And it makes the bad feeling thing feel better inside of us, but that's not the situation of the truth. It may be that you needed help and you didn't ask for it. It may be that you did too much or were depressed. Many, many things could have been the case about why the situation occurred like it did. And it only left you feeling more alone, because that's where you are coming from. Like, Spirit wants you to repair these rips and these tears for good, so you can feel part of this community, the community that you belong in. You might not even be there yet. You might not be in the community that you're belonging to. But right now, what's happening is that these separations in your heart are separating you from people. And it's so interesting that 5 of these have a banner running through them, right? It's why orphaned, clean it up, community, breathe. And they all are kind of strung together with the same banner with the checkered flag in the middle. And it's like, it literally is like an exact statement of, clean up. You're asking, why was I orphaned? Why was I not helped? And clearly I was acting out because I needed help and I couldn't say it, right? Your masculine might be doing that in certain ways. And it's because you're disconnected from the community that you belong in, where, what a beautiful card. She's sitting on this lotus, lily pad with all these lotuses, right? Floating on the water. That's the emotions. So this is kind of the guiding banner, string, whatever it is. And it's like, don't be distracted by things that look like they accept you, look like they will help you, but really won't. So there is a warning here from Spirit of like, a lot of things will appear to do that work for you, to do the shadow work for you. Specifically, like in my reality, I'm seeing a lot of somatic things. I do think adjunct therapies can help you heal. It's like somatic therapies can release stuck trauma, but so can shadow work. And you can use help, right? You can use sound healing, but that doesn't replace actually facing your shadow and integrating it. It can't do it for you. Like, you're going to have to go through the transformation, and you can do it or you can be forced to do it, is basically what happens. That's how I see it. Okay, so I tried to make this a little bit shorter today. I hope that helped. I was going for a little bit lighter. The beautiful thing about this reading is that it really ended on these two cards, okay? It ended on communication about how much you two love each other. And that's amazing. The fact that by going through this process, you're really going to come to a place, you know, I love this card because it has the chakra colors like falling down into the cups, and they're the same but different, right? The skin is the same but different. You two may be very different from each other in many different ways. And a lot of that is what you think may not work. Yeah, just a lot of either separation here. And I see that there's overcoming bad habits for sure. Definitely watching you, thinking about you and thinking about this. You guys are really thinking about outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and over in your head. I think that there's not going to be a solution through talking to anyone necessarily. If you need to do it, fine. But the peace, the integration really happens within you. If you need to talk to a therapist, if you need to talk to your family, if you need to talk to your pastor or support, great. That's always good. The integration of the shadow happens within you. You can have guidance, but it always is your own work with your inner child that does the integration. I feel like a lot of what you're overcoming is instability and insecurity. And, you know, your insecurities are a result from the instability and the lack of security you felt in that home environment, right? In the root chakra. And that is what you're stabilizing. Part of the way that we cope with that is unhealthy choices, is addiction, is seduction, is what I was talking about in the reading. It was like, pick me. So I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm judging, because we all want to be chosen. But the truth of this reading that's coming through is that choosing yourself was the only thing that will ever solve that problem, that what is going on. You know, you have to choose yourself. When you need help, you need to seek it. You need to be responsible. You need to find a way to be vulnerable enough to accept it and ask for it. I think a lot of this reading comes down to the fact that we have to make peace with vulnerability. You know, as children, we were vulnerable and we got hurt. We didn't get the love, and now we're seeking the love to try to fix the hurt. But the hurt has to be fixed before you can ever actually feel the real love that you need. which starts with self-love, right? Okay, I'm going to move on and get some advice. I hope that I did that beautiful message justice. Let's see. Oh yeah, these first. I like doing these this way. So who's working with you? Who's working with him? And the connecting archetype. I probably won't use this deck forever, but I like it right now. You have Kali again, right? Facing that fear. He has Ishel. I don't know how to say that. And then together is Mother Mary, expect miracles, and Irene, peace. So beautiful message of peace between you. Kali, endings and beginnings. The old must be released so the new can't enter. Ishel, medicine woman, you are a channel for divine healing power. And Mother Mary, expect a miracle. I have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. We have Mother Mary here on the bottom of this deck. So let's get some more Ascended Masters you can use to help you with these healings, with doing this work, and just use to attune your energy to. Ask for them to guide you in meditation or sleep or work with you, teach you their lessons. You have Diana, he has hope, and again, expect miracles. Mary Magdalene on the bottom of the deck, teacher awakens. You have focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. He has hope, love, and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. And then Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. I know for some of you, it really doesn't feel that way. Okay, you have Labradorite. He has Ruby. And together you have Peace again, Solicite, and Abundance. Citrine on the bottom of the deck. Relationship healing. Morganite. So you can use these crystals. Work with their energies. You have Take Action. He has Shine. Get a couple dragons here and then messages from your twin. It's getting darker and darker. Yeah, Spirit wants you to take action to heal this relationships inside of yourself. You have Air and Fire Dragon. He has the Alpha Dragon, and in between is the White Gold Dragon from Lyra. Magenta Dragon on the bottom, which enables you to bring forward your soul's wisdom. So you expand your creative energies, harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. He has harnessed the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old, visualize your dream, and help to manifest a new world. Middle connects you to the Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. And then we have another Dove. You may not always understand why certain things happen. True. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Will it? He has time. You're trying too hard. Give it time. In the middle is surrender. And I did use that word in this reading. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. So ask what you can let go of and integrate into your shadow work. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. Playfulness. So that's a beautiful message. I really get the feeling of inner child in this reading, wanting to be healed, and that means your feelings. Inner child, subconscious is feelings. So I hope this has served you well. I do readings. If you want one, they're on my Etsy or my Stand store, and I shall talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing.